Do you want to be rich? Well, you should have thought about that 10 years ago, because here are the 10 best stocks that you should have bought 10 years ago. Starting things off at the bottom of our list is Coca-Cola Consolidated, which goes by the ticker symbol Coke. Now, Coca-Cola Consolidated is not to be confused with Coca-Cola Corporation, which is the creator of the popular beverage Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Consolidated is a completely separate entity, which is actually the largest independent bottler of the popular beverage. Founded in 1902 and located in Greensboro, North Carolina, Coca-Cola Consolidated has grown pretty extensively over the last couple of decades. If you had invested $10,000 into the stock 10 years ago at the share price of $81.75 and held it until today, your $10,000 would now be worth $146,700, give or take, depending on the current share price, which as of today was $1,202.60. That's a roughly 1,371% increase over the last 10 years. Next on our list is a company called Builders FirstSource, which goes by the ticker symbol BLDR. Their team of 29,000 members spread across 43 states is the largest supplier of building products in the nation. The company was founded in 1998 and IPO'd in June of 2005 with a share price of $15.14. During the financial crisis of 2008, the stock price dropped to a low of 83 cents. 10 years ago today, if you had bought $10,000 worth of the stock at $6.73 and held it until today's price of $150.50, your $10,000 would be worth roughly $223,500, a roughly 2,136% increase in just 10 years. Up next is a company called AxonEnterprise, which goes by the ticker symbol AXON. Axon is a weapons and technology company based out of Scottsdale, Arizona that was founded in 1993 under a different name, Air Taser Incorporation, named after their wildly popular product, the Taser. They later IPO'd in 2001 under their ticker symbol TASR. It wasn't until 2017 when they officially rebranded to AxonEnterprise to better represent their full array of products. If you had bought $10,000 worth of the stock 10 years ago at the share price of $26.06 and held it until today's price of $631.69, your 10K would now be worth roughly $241,900, which is a roughly 2,324% increase in just 10 years. Next on our list is a company called Comfort Systems USA, which goes by the ticker symbol FIX. Comfort Systems USA is the leading building and service provider for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing building systems in the nation. They're essentially a conglomerate of over 45 different companies spread across 170 locations, all operating under one name. Originally founded in 1997 and subsequently IPOing at the exact same time through a merger of 12 companies coming together under one name. Over the last decade, their stock price has skyrocketed from a share price of $15.84 to a whopping $438.44 a share. That's an increase of 2,668% over the last decade. If you had invested just $10,000 back in 2014 and held until today, that would now be worth roughly $276,650. Up next, we have a company called Broadcom, which goes by the ticker symbol AVGO. Broadcom is a global technology leader that designs, develops, and supplies a broad range of semiconductor, enterprise software, and security solutions. Founded in 1961 and acquired in 2016 by AVGO Technologies Limited, that explains why the ticker symbol is AVGO. If you had purchased AVGO stock a decade ago before the acquisition of Broadcom at a share price of $7.85 a share and held until today's price of $220.79 a share, you would have had a return of 2,712%. So if you had put $10,000 into the stock, that would now be worth roughly $281,300. Next on our list is a company called Fair Isaac Corporation, which goes by the ticker symbol FICO. FICO is an American data analytics company that is best known for their credit scoring system, or better known, the FICO score. Founded in 1956 by Bill Fair and Earl Isaac and publicly listed in 1987, FICO has been a staple in the American finance industry for just shy of a century. If you had purchased FICO stock 10 years ago at the share price of $71.77 and held until today's price of $2,090.98, you would have had a gain of 2,813%, meaning a $10,000 investment just 10 years ago would now be worth $290,650 today. Stepping to our next company on our list, we have Camtek, which goes by the ticker symbol CAMT. Camtek is a leading manufacturer of metrology and inspection equipment for the semiconductor industry. Founded in 1987 and IPOing in 2000, the stock price has fluctuated in the single digits for the majority of its lifespan. But in the last 10 years, it has seen some extensive growth. 10 years ago, the stock sat at a share price of $2.84, and today it sits at a whopping $83.36, which is a gain of 2,835% in just the last decade. If you had invested $10,000 back in 2014, that would now be worth roughly $293,500. You'll probably start to see a trend in the companies that have done very well for themselves over the last decade when we tell you our next company, which is Advanced Micro Devices, listed on the stock market under AMD. AMD is a semiconductor company best known for designing and developing computer processors and graphics technologies. The semiconductor industry has been booming over the last decade, and AMD is shared in that boom. 10 years ago today, the stock price sat at a whopping $2.66 a share, and today has risen to a stock price of $119.21 per share. A mere $10,000 investment a decade ago would now be worth roughly $448,100 today, a 4,381% gain over the last decade. Can you imagine if you had put more than $10,000 into AMD? Moving away from the semiconductor industry, the second to last company on our list is a company that goes by Celsius Holdings, listed under the ticker symbol CELH. Celsius Holdings is best known for its wildly popular energy drink Celsius. Founded in 2004, Celsius has seen some pretty slow growth over the years, but in the last decade has exploded. If you had purchased the stock 10 years ago today at the share price of just 17 cents and held until today's price of $27.01, you would have seen a gain of 15,788%. Meaning if you had put $10,000 into the stock and back in 2014, it would now be worth a staggering $1,588,800. What's even crazier, if you had sold at the all-time highs back in March of 2024 at the share price of $96.11, that same $10,000 investment back in 2014 would have been worth nearly $5,653,500 in March of 2024. That is freaking nuts. Heading back into the semiconductor industry for our final company on the list, we have a company called Nvidia Corporation, which goes by the ticker symbol NVDA. Nvidia is a multinational technology company that designs and manufactures computer graphic processors, chipsets, and related software. They are a leader in artificial intelligent computing and are actually the second largest company in the entire world based on market cap. Founded in 1993 and IPOing in 1999, Nvidia has seen some of the most ridiculous growth in the last decade. If you had bought the stock 10 years ago today at the share price of 49 cents and held until today's share price of $134.70, you would have had a gain of 27,389%, which is absolutely nuts. That means if you had put $10,000 into the stock a decade ago, it would now be worth roughly $2,749,000. If you had taken $100,000 a decade ago and put $10,000 into every single one of the stocks on our list, that $100K would now be worth roughly $6,540,000 today.